is a sailor's fantasy. I mean, hello, just look at the place. And it's here with these calm bays and pristine waterways where Greg and Sue White decided to ditch their corporate life in Auckland and drop anchor. Businessman Greg saw the potential in the wine industry, so they bought a piece of land in the Wairoa Valley, built a shed, and Whitehaven's been riding a wave of winemaking success ever since. Before he succumbed to cancer in 2007, Greg White's big project was making this lovely walled garden a beautiful spot to catch up with Sue. And what was Marlborough like, back in those, when you first sort of set up Whitehaven?
In '94, it was nothing like Auckland at all. It was coffee, little tea shops instead of, cafes, and it was very, very little, This was a cherry orchard.
Okay.
You could go and buy cherries, apricots and apples. There was limited grapes planted. In fact, we were always grateful that we chose to come to Marlborough because back when we first came, Sauvignon Blanc wasn't this great big thing, wonder that it is around the world. So I think we've been really privileged to have ended up in Marlborough and have a region that's driven a grape. You don't get that anywhere else in New Zealand.
Hasn't always been easy though, has it?
No. When we first came down here in '95 was our first vintage, and it rained and we'd only done 50 tonnes of Riesling.
Only 50 tonnes?
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah, the banks were sort of reneging on lending money.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, that's right. Greg's background came in. He said, "We can't do that," you said. So I remember the guy coming in, talking to us. He said, "Well, I put my balls on the line, so I hope you can pay it back." I remember that distinctly. Anyway, we did. And in fact, that year, we had a fantastic winemaker, and we got a gold in a year for our Riesling that, people, botrytis and slippy skin and slime. It was a dreadful season, but we pulled through.
Pulled through to make some pretty special Sauvignon Blanc.
You'll enjoy this.
Fantastic. Look at the colour. It's like white gold. It sort of sparkles.
And
cheers. Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Oh, I love that smell. It's like this sort of burst of passion fruit and lime and crushed sort of basil herbs.
And it's really, no one else can replicate it, so we're very, very lucky.
It's the quintessential Marlborough Sauvignon.
Yeah.
And you know what I really like about this? Is it doesn't have that sort of squinty acidity.
No, it's really well-rounded, isn't it?
Really nice and fleshy and...
Yeah, no, it's a great Sauvignon. Thank goodness for my winemakers. Cheers to them.
And the winemakers couldn't do it without the growers, led by this lady. Got your MBA, is that right? From
Victoria.
From Victoria. So how's that as a viticulturalist? I'm not sure if I've ever met a viticulturalist with an MBA before.
Well, I had a technical degree. In fact, I had 2 of those. I like studying. But if you don't have the business model successful for both the grower and the winery, then it's just not going to work.
This is the home vineyard. It wraps around the winery.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of people actually growing for you.
Yeah, we have a significant population of growers. It has to be a good fit. The fruit from their sites has to work with our blend and give us the characteristics that we're after. And they have to like the way we work, and we have to enjoy the way they work for it to be a pleasant working commercial relationship.
My name's Andy Peter. I own this vineyard here in the Artistry Valley, and we've been growing grapes for Whitehaven for perhaps 10 years now.
Hi, I'm Jo Grigg. Welcome to Tempalo Vineyard. We have a 12.5 hectare vineyard, entirely Sauvignon Blanc, with a little bit on the hill behind me in Pinot Noir. We supply Whitehaven and have done so since our first harvest in 2006.
Hi, my name's Chris Murphy. We're here on our family vineyard and orchard in Blenheim. We grow apples and pears, plus about 31 hectares of vineyard. We supply a lot of those grapes to Whitehaven, who take some of our Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Noir.
And Martin looks after the home block where the Pinot Gris grapes grow. I love the way this Pinot Gris smells, Martin. It's kind of like nashi pear and like elderflower and white peach, and there's fantastic sort of minerally notes.
Flavour to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beer is quite nice.
Yum. And it's really crisp. And it's really full, but it's not a sweet Pinot Gris, is it?
No, it's not completely dry. I think it's got around 7 grams of sugar.
I tell you what, it really tastes
That's beautiful.
nice and clean. It is beautiful. I'm intrigued by your accent.
Okay.
You're not a Kiwi, are you?
No, I'm not. No.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Czech Republic.
And how come you ended up here? What brought you to New Zealand?
I come for 3 months holiday and haven't been back yet. In New Zealand, you can do anything you can imagine. I do lots of fishing, diving, spearfishing, pig hunting.
What's your favourite kind of fish to catch?
My favorite kind of fish, big snapper, gurnard.
Snapper? Oh, gurnard. Oh, here's to Pinot Gris and gurnard.
Cool.
Cheers.
Sam Smale is charged with taking those parcels of fruit and fashioning them into world-class wines.
So what's a good Christchurch boy like you doing in an old apple packing shed in Marlborough making wine?
This is where all the action was, I guess. This is from our Greg range of wines. In this range we've got Pinot Noir and Sauvignon Blanc.
Rightio.
It's named Greg in memory of our founder Greg White. So this Pinot Noir is from 300 to 400 different barrels. We select out 10.
10 barrels from 300 or 400?
10 barrels.
Wow, so they'd have to be pretty special.
They are.
Tell you what, I'm really struggling to take this glass away from my nose because it smells so good.
Yeah. No, it's we're really happy with this wine. It actually comes from a single vineyard up the Brancott Valley, grown with organic principles.
Right.
It sees a lot of new oak as opposed to our white label Pinot Noir. We want the oak to caress the wine.
Oh, I like that.
So obviously we get the typical plum, cherry notes from the fruit, but we also, what we're looking at is just to get different layers of the gaminess.
Definitely gamey.
The oak char, a little bit of smokiness from the oak, but we just want it to be integrated. Thanks.
Well done. I think we need you back in Canterbury though.
Whitehaven regularly win top awards at wine shows both here and overseas, and a big part of their winning formula is family and their team. In preparation for the annual get-together for all the growers, I'm on Team Kitchen with Sue and her daughter Sam.
Hopefully there might be a bit of singing and dancing at the
Tonight,
outside of the tent.
Probably only by Andy Peters though. Thank you all again for coming. We appreciate all that you do and helping us making fantastic wine. And we've got the trophy for the Sauvignon Blanc this year, and just recently we've picked up the elite gold for our Pinot Gris at the New Zealand Award.
The Nautilus shell is an example of scientific perfection occurring in nature, and in the case of Nautilus Wines, it's the perfect symbol for what they strive for. Starting, of course, with some Pinot Noir grown for the Nautilus cuvée each year.
This is a very special vineyard for us because this is where we start our harvest every year.
So first grapes that you pick?
It's always the first grapes we pick. It's quite an early block. It's a Dijon clone of Pinot, so it's a great thing to sort of get the harvest underway. As soon as the grapes are in the press, we sit down and celebrate it with a glass of bubbles, of course.
Fantastic.
And it really, gets us on the journey of vintage.
Oh, I like the idea of journeys of vintage, and I like the idea of bubbles.
Katie is not only Master of Marketing here, she's also studying for her Master of Wine, something else worth celebrating.
So how would you describe the appearance of this wine?
Oh, I would describe it as a very pale straw colour with a fine streaming bead and a very fine mousse. So,
very good. You passed your first exam.
A Nautilus cuvée is unusual too because it's predominantly Pinot Noir. 3/4 Pinot Noir, whereas a lot of New Zealand methods have got more Chardonnay in them. But the Pinot gives it some nice richness and structure, and that's always been our style. And it's
in fact, there's a trophy that it's won in Sydney a few times now, that it was the first non-champagne sparkling wine to ever win the trophy.
Huh. What would you eat with this? What would be your ideal sort of food match?
Wow. Yeah, just something we rustled up earlier. So we've got a couple of food matches here. We've got some anchovy and pesto palmiers with some parmesan, and we've got some salmon roulade with some dill in it.
Oh, wow. The citrus, the lemony, creamy salmon with the wine, just outstanding.
The roulette's pretty good too, actually. So that's where you get that bready character coming through, and the a little bit of Parmesan gives it that sort of complex, slightly cheesy character.
I'm never going to get skinny on this job.
It's an occupational hazard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Clive, you're right.
Good wine.
That's really
good. Food.
The team at Nautilus are passionate about Pinot Noir, and this is the gorgeous vineyard that produces some of the best grapes for them.
So welcome Yvonne to Clay Hills, our little jewel in the crown.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and this little block is a bit different. It's east-west, which is a strange orientation in lots of viticulturalist mind.
But what does the fruit from here go into?
Well, a good portion of it obviously goes into our Nautilus premium Pinot, but and year to year, I've got a hunk of it will also go into the full barriques, which I think you're going to have a look at later on.
Can't wait.
So yeah, it's a very special block for the company, special for me. I love working up here. It's what viticulturists get out of bed in the morning for, is these sort of vineyards.
They've built this winery specifically for Pinot Noir, and today Clive, Brett and Mike are searching for something very special, the barrels which will go into their 4 barriques Pinot Noir.
A barrique is another name for a barrel. That's a barrel, that's a barrique.
And we're looking for 4 of them. It's a simple concept, really.
So what are you actually looking for this 4 barriques?
Well, the Nautilus Pinot is quite a seductive, elegant style, so we're looking for components that have got a bit more structure, a bit more savoury, a bit more robust, a bit bigger.
This one, just having a little sniff, it's got some really kind of smoky, savoury, kind of really earthy notes in there. Yep. Do you think this one might make it?
Yeah, I reckon that's well worth consideration.
This is so exciting.
It is.
I feel like I'm part of a secret, privileged club.
Is it 11062?
11062, lock it in, Clive.
Locked and loaded.
So we've narrowed it down to 12 barrels. Now we need to narrow it down to 4 for the final blend.
Don't be afraid of a wine that's quite assertive and ballsy and got a lot of...
I've never been afraid of anything assertive and ballsy, Clive.
Well, excellent. You pass me the measuring cylinder and we'll put a little blend together.
There we go, that's yours. We're going to do equal amounts of each.
Equal amounts of each.
Oh, this is fantastic.
My maths is right, it should add up to 40 mils.
This reminds me of like 5th form science.
Yeah, that's right. Right, now, let's call that blend A.
Okay, we want to make a blend B as well?
Yep.
So different.
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
Really floral, really fragrant. There's this kind of red rose and spice, and
it's got a little bit more structure to it, I think. It's the tannins are a bit broader across the palate. But again, it's going to be 3 years before this is released, so I think that could work really well.
I want to see B in a bottle in a few years' time.
Yep.
Food and wine matching really is a big deal here, so Katie's organised a 4 barriques food match, which I can't wait for. But first, we're starting with a little Marlborough staple, Sauvignon Blanc.
Fresh local Marlborough asparagus and a goat cheese tart, and then a rocket salad on the top with some citrus dressing.
Here you go, you better grab yourself a piece.
Perfect match for the
smell it from here, it looks amazing. I'm just going to smell the two together. Excellent, let's try a little bit of this 4 barriques.
Absolutely. Duck and Pinot, right? Can't go wrong.
Good.
Yep, that's a
wow. You've just got this perfect balance of the sweet and the more earthy characters, which, it's just perfect. Pinot is the perfect wine to match with food. I'm getting quite excited.
Yes, Mike, absolutely. Cheers.
It's duck and Pinot.
No, you're not going to do that.
No.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What if it goes all down my front?
Perfect TV.
See, that brings out a whole new dimension, doesn't it?
Salty.
Yes.
Since its debut 30 years ago in Katikati, Morton Estate has gone from strength to strength. The original winery building still operates as the barrel hall, coal store and cellar door on the same site. And one of the people who's been with the company for many years is Fiona.
The original owner of Morton Estate was Morton Brow.
Right.
And he came to the Katikati area to grow kiwi fruit.
Kiwi fruit, okay.
But just when he arrived, the bottom fell out of the market. So he switched to growing grapes. And at the same time, he built this amazing building we're standing in at the moment. Everyone right down from the vineyard staff to the winemaking staff, we're also passionate to produce an outstanding wine. And it's just fantastic to be able to work amongst those sorts of people.
So when John Coney bought the company, there were only 2 vineyards, and one of them was in Marlborough. He very quickly added this Awatiri Valley vineyard to the mix, and these days Tom looks after it.
All right, I think we should try some of this fantastic Awatiri Sauvignon Blanc. Stone Creek Sauvignon, thank you, Mr. Coney.
My pleasure.
How did you feel when you first sort of stepped onto this vineyard to think about, you know, buying it?
It was the early days of the Awatiri, but we already knew they were making fantastic wine up here. Different from the Wairau Valley, but fantastic wine.
Okay. The name of this piece of land is Kuranui, is that right?
The staff came up with the name, and I believe it means treasure, and it means moa.
Well, we're not going on a moa hunt today, but we found ourselves some pretty fantastic Sauvignon Blanc, haven't we?
Fantastic, all right. It's she's a stunner, and it just shows you what the Awatiri can produce, you know. And
it's really herbaceous, isn't
absolutely.
it? Really herbaceous, but not sweaty and it doesn't have that kind of squinty acidity. It's quite soft and plush.
The capsicum comes through, the grassiness as well, and it's got some pretty good structure too.
What is it about this part of Marlborough that makes it so fantastic for growing grapes?
It's the elevation, and it's the cooler climate, and the extremities of the climate as well. You know, it's not unheard of for us to be pushing 40 degrees during the day.
No way, really?
Yeah,
40?
40, yeah, so we try and get most of our work done before lunch.
Always wise, I try to as well.
Absolutely, and then overnight, it can be as cool as, 4, 5, 6 degrees.
There's no better place than New Zealand to be in the wine business. Also, you like to be associated with people who are passionate and professional and dedicated, and we've certainly got that at Morton's.
I think we should salute you and your great team. Cheers.
Absolutely, cheers.
Cheers, and the Awatiri.
Cheers. And the Awatiri.
As well as Marlborough, Morton also have vineyards in Hawke's Bay, some Syrah from the Bridgepar Triangle, and up here in Marapiro, they grow Riesling and Pinot Gris.
Welcome, I'm John Arledge and you're at Morton Estate's vineyard in Marapiro. Morton's came out here, we were one of the first producers to come to this side of the river. People thought we were nuts because it was so far out. My wife thought it was nuts because I had to bring her out here. These soils, all pure red metals with the smallest amount of topsoil, so it gives us complete control over viticultural practices. We belong to the Sustainable New Zealand system and we try and do things in a sustainable manner, obviously, with sheep doing a lot of our manual work with leaf plucking and so forth. And really, it's a beautiful part of the country to live.
On the other side of the Naruroro River is the aptly named Riverview. It's here that the grapes grow for some outstanding and iconic Chardonnay.
Tell me about the Canelio.
Canelio for us is the pinnacle of our Chardonnays. It's a wine that we only produce in very special years.
Okay. Yeah, it's like white gold, gorgeous.
It's a very elegant wine. It has very ripe fruit characters, honey, caramel, butterscotch. It is a very powerful wine and it's just absolutely delicious.
It's like creme brulee inside a little toasted oak bowl.
Yeah.
You know, it's gorgeous and there's grapefruit and there's little hints of vanilla and spice and it's just so slippery and kind of elegant. It just sort of slips down. Tell me, this wine, it's won a hefty whack of awards over the years, hasn't it?
It's won the best Chardonnay in the world at back-to-back at the Decanter Wine Awards in London.
That's extreme.
It is, and this wine here on its first outing has won a gold.
So where does the name Canelio originate?
It's Italian for rabbit.
Right.
The proprietor of Morton Estate is John Coney.
Okay.
And Coney is French for a type of rabbit.
And the flavours are just leaping out of the glass.
It certainly does.
It does. See, that was quite clever what I did there, eh?
That was brilliant.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Another style of wine that all the vineyards contribute to is their Méthode Traditionnelle. Morton Estate make a range of 9 different sparkling wines using the old methods. Now, once the wine is in bottles, it re-ferments and is then handled with care every step of the way until it leaves for market. And the latest winemaker in charge is Will Shields.
The winery is absolutely humming, although I was going to say fizzing, because you're making sparkling wine here at the moment, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We're doing our tirage, which is today.
what am I leaning on here? These are quite crazy looking bins.
This is basically a riddling bin. This is our manual method, and we get a strong person, stronger than me, to move them around just to get all that yeast right down to the bottom.
Right.
We freeze the neck.
Okay.
And then take the top off, and the pressure inside the bottle will expel that frozen plug of yeast.
Got some of the new premium brut just waiting to be put in, to be labelled. Yeah.
I'm not going to pop it. Okay. I'm not going to, because that's what rally drivers do and people that win sporting events.
Okay.
Correct way is to gently ease it out of the bottle.
Well, that was very stylishly done.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're always looking for a bead, and the bead's the fancy term for the bubbles rising up. So you want a fine, consistent bead, and then you want a persistent mousse.
And the mousse is the foam,
yes.
The creamy foam on the top.
Yes.
It smells really lovely. It's got this kind of bread crust and nutty aroma to it.
Yes, and that's from the lees aging, basically. Very good value for money.
It's so tasty. And I think it actually even tastes better down here with its mates.
Well, it should do. Wine always tastes better at the winery, they say.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yay.
Something else that tastes amazing around here is the local Bay of Plenty seafood and produce.
Oh,
thank you.
Smells delicious.
That's incredible.
Really does.
It's all cooked with love. Enjoy.
Oh, that looks so fantastic.
The Bay of Plenty is certainly renowned for its seafood, so it's lovely to be able to have this with the Morton non-vintage brut.
Scampi yabbies.
No, why
they're not
you call them
scampi yabbies. Now I'm going to try the sparkling with this beautiful hollandaise mussel. So creamy, the lovely butteriness and the citrus spice.
It goes really well with this, doesn't it?
It's beautiful. To the guys out there growing the grapes that have actually made these wines happen, I think they've done an absolutely spectacular job. So I think cheers to Pete and John and Tom.
Yep.
And to you guys. Cheers.
Yeah,
well
cheers.
done.